trades. So we're going to go ahead and review performance today based on the adaptive entry system signals off of the NASDAQ 100. So let's go ahead and pull that up, daily performance. So here is the detail of the daily performance. I know some of you have asked that you'll be able to see the 7 a.m. forward detail, so there it is. And Aaron's been working on putting a little automation into the spreadsheet, so now we can easily summarize the two categories that we're primarily trading, and then I'm kind of keeping an eye on a third category, which we've talked about. So the first category that we are tracking is assuming that we're trading from 9:30 to noon. We have a lot of traders who would love to trade, invest some time in the morning, and then go off and do something different with their day. So that's what we've been tracking here. Today's performance was just one tick, literally $5 per contract after 11 trades. So we talked in the live trading room today that it was a little more challenging, but still, not too bad considering how challenging it was. And then in the second category, we did 13 trades for 27 3/4 points. That is trading from 7 to 4. That's taking only the trend bias trades and locking in for 10 points or looking for a 10-point profit. If we take a loss, it can be anywhere between 1 point to 20 points, depending on the nature of the signal or possibly hitting our protective stop. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the 9:30 to 12, taking all signals. So all signals, if you're not familiar with this, means that we are looking at all three methods of entry on the adaptive entry system. Method one is a trend bias trade, which means we've got a red bar, a second red bar, and we enter a position on that second red bar. Method entry number two is a consensus signal, and we've got short consensus signals as evidenced here by a red highlighted vertical bar, and we've got long consensus signals as evidenced here by a green highlighted vertical bar. And then we have momentum signals, which are highlighted by a red bar and an M label, and we've got short momentum signals, and then we've got long momentum signals. So it's very easy to understand the signals, understand when to get in, when to go long, when to buy a call option, or when to go short, and when to buy a put option. So these signals can be traded with both futures and options. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the all. Actually, I've already pre-plugged that. We had 0.25, one tick on NQ of profit. Each tick is $5, and we're trading 3 contracts today, so that's $15. And then we had 11 trades we took, so there was a lot of work to not really generate any profit today, and so that's 33 contracts that we traded. So the net result to us is that we lost $117 today. Considering how choppy it was today, that's really not bad at all. And when we factor that into the prior 3.5 weeks that we've recorded here, we're averaging just over 29 points a day and just over $981 of profit per day. So the 29.30 came down from just being over 30 points a day with our loss today. And then we plug in what we want our future forecast to be for the rest of our 12-month planning. And I'm going to leave it for today at 30 points. So that means that to date, for the first 3.5 weeks of our 12-month plan, we're averaging just over 29 points. The rest of the 12-month plan I have based on 30 points. And 1 day a week, we are actually allocating to being a losing trading day of 10 points, which is equivalent to $200 a contract. So we've actually had now 1, 2, 3 losing days over the course of 3.5 weeks. So we're actually right on target, and you can see that the number of points that we lost are all 3 occurrences below our 10 points of plan. So I'm going to leave the 10-point losing day at 10 and not adjust that. Now, if I saw our losing days increase, I would increase that number. If I saw our winning days decrease, I would decrease that number. And that helps us develop a realistic 12-month forecast. So based on forecasting 30 points a day for winning days and minus 10 points for losing days, and based on maxing out at 3 contracts, we could earn $343,000 over this 12-month period starting July 6th. So I think that's a pretty solid number, considering we're starting with $5,000, and of that $5,000, we're allocating 10% of our account balance towards opening contracts. And as the account grows, the trading plan will help us determine when to increase, when to scale the number of contracts that we want to trade. So the other category, let me just grab that real quick here, is 27.75 and 13 trades. So we'll go back to our trading plan and we'll choose our other category. So 27.75 times $20 a point is $555. Or we're trading 3 contracts. That's what the trading plan has graduated us up to. And so we're going to go over to here and plug in $1,665 of profit today. Pretty happy with that, considering the challenge that we had. And we said we had 13 trades. So 13 trades times 3 contracts. Each trade is 39 contracts. Now, by plugging in the contracts, that allocates a cost of trading that takes into account the fees and commissions that we have to pay for the broker, which is pretty minimal, actually. All right, so 3.5 weeks, our average trading only the trend bias entries and looking for 10 points of profit or a possible a loss of as much as 20 points. We won't always have 20 points with our losing trades. The signal may reverse, the signal may stall out, the signal may give us an indication that we need to take the trade off, and we'll take it off in many cases, most cases, for less than a 20-point loss. So our average for 3.5 weeks is 30.25 points. We're leaving the forecast at 30 points for the remainder of the 12 months. And we have in this plan a 15-point allocation for a losing day, 1 day a week. Now, is that realistic? I'm going to leave it at 15. We have yet to have a losing day in the last 3.5 weeks, trading the trend bias plus signal and looking for 10 points of profit out of that. So we have had no losing days. Our lowest performing day was 7.35 points, so pretty happy with that. And this forecasts out to about $330,000 if we cap out at 3 contracts. Now, the really cool thing I like about the trading plan tool is you can play around with this figure. Once you know what your actual average is and that your forecast is realistic based on your actual, then you can play around with this number. And as long as you know that the number is less than 10% of your capital balance, meaning you're never going to allocate capital to open contracts where the total value of the margin for those contracts is greater than 10%. It'll always be less than 10% of your account value. And of course, you can set that at 15, you can set it at 5, whatever you want. We have it set at 10. But as long as you know that it's always less than 10%, you could increase the number of contracts. So let's say you wanted to trade 5 contracts as a maximum. Well, the trading plan is going to grow you up to 5 eventually, and then cap out at 5 for the rest of the 12 months. And 5 contracts gives you an opportunity to make just over $500,000. Of course, you can play around with that all you want. You can make it 2 contracts, you can make it 10 contracts. It's always going to be less than 10% of the total balance of your account. So we conservatively project out at 3 and leave it up to you to decide how you want to forecast your personal income. And I just invite you to always be realistic based on the actual and your forecast. Right now, our actual and forecast are right in line. And in fact, I think it's conservative because we have yet to have a losing day, but we're still allocating one losing day a week in our forecast and have that losing day be 15 points, which is the equivalent of $300 per contract. So that's the summary for today. Pretty happy with today's performance considering how choppy it was today. Just jump back here real quick and we'll take a quick look at the averages. Yeah, let's look at the averages. So the two categories, the category where we're trading from 9:30 to noon, we're actually averaging about 35 points a day. So today didn't really produce anything. It was, 1/4 of a point. But our average, including today, is 35 points a day. So today wasn't that bad, and we've had losing days before. Our lowest day was a loss on that particular day of 53 points. So today was not a bad day for us. It's just a natural part of the process. And then when we're trading the trend bias plus triggers only, and we're looking for 10 points of profit and using a 20-point protective stop, our average is 42.3 points. So that's a pretty solid average. And today we did less than that, 27.75, so a little less than average, but still pretty solid. So we got about a 75% win rate in that category. We've got about a 79% win rate in the other category. And you can do some comparison here as you review this to the win rates in other categories, how much time is required for trading to achieve those numbers. There are some categories that would give you much higher performance numbers. They have a slightly lower percentage win rate. They're going to take more time for you to trade. So there's a balancing between all of the different factors, how much time is necessary to trade, what your profit goal is, plugging your profit goal into your personal trading plan and see what your income forecast is for 12 months. And then, of course, the win-loss ratio, how dependable is that number? I would absolutely love to go for trend bias signals and take, well, let's just say 87 points holding for the full cycle. That's 87 points a day. That's a huge number at $20 a point, but that has only a 45% win rate. Now, there's nothing wrong with that if you can manage your way through and kind of slog through all of the losing trades to get there, but that has an emotional weight for most traders. So we like to focus on the ones that have a higher win rate, maybe a lower overall percentage win, but or average points. But then when you factor it into your personal trading plan, you can scale differently. All right. So if I was able to average 30 points, even though the actual average in taking those trades is over 40 points, but if I was able to average 30, and maybe I want to scale to 6 contracts, not be ultra aggressive, always knowing that it is still 10% or less of the total balance of my account, that's where you can really increase your income. So in the adaptive entry system in combination with the trading plan is a huge, huge stride for individual traders to be able to not only trade successfully, but then plan what they have, what they desire their income to be over the course of a 12-month period. All right, that's it, folks. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for being here. And we'll be back again tomorrow.